Steve is muting up. Steve.
He's our partner.
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
I've made a decision.
Steve,
I'm leaving the base.
Sleep.
If this is gonna be my home, I want to see all of it.
Steve.
I've packed supplies and
Stella
mapped
is
out the nearest
trying to
land.
talk to us. Oh, yeah, thanks,
Good
Steve.
luck.
Oh, I just kind of woke up. Oh, she's back at the river. Good morning, Stella. How are you? I see that you're back at the river. Steve is now booting up. Doot. Good morning, Stella. How are you? And what is your plan for today? I love playing two characters. Oh my gosh, that didn't record. Okay, I'm gonna try again. Steve is now booting up. Doot. Good morning, Stella. How are you? Hey, Stella, it's Caitlin. How you doing? I see that you're back at the river. Do you need help crossing the river again? Steve has some new ideas if she needs to cross the river. Yeah, I know.
Thanks for checking in. I'm good. Actually, I've already made it across once before, remember? That log bridge
I remember.
was quite
I'm just
the
wondering
adventure.
why she's back at
This
the stream.
time, I'm just enjoying the view and planning my next move.
Okay.
Speaking of exploring, if you could travel anywhere in the universe right now, where would you go?
Ooh, that's a wonderful question. Steve wants to answer. Nope, Steve, I'm going to answer. Yes, so I would love to go to Saturn because it rains diamonds, which is kind of awesome. I'd love to go to Mars to, see what it's like there. Passing the mic to Steve. Steve wants to go to Australia so he can be on a kangaroo or ride a kangaroo. Yeah, that's a great idea, Steve. Steve wants to ride a kangaroo. Yeah, you're kind of small, so
Diamond
I don't know
rain
if you
on
can
Saturn would be
ride
unreal.
a kangaroo.
Though I bet it's not exactly something you could catch in a jar. As for Mars, who knows what secrets it's hiding? And Steve, I think you might need to work on your kangaroo riding skills before hopping on one of those. Just saying.
Steve feels
Did you guys
crushed
ever
and
go on any
feelings hurt.
cool field trips or trips when you were younger?
Yes. So my university had field trips like in the summertime. And one of them was to go to the eastern part of the state that I live in, which is a desert. And they have a guy there who's an exotic farmer. So he has normal farm animals. And then he raises yaks. And that is an interesting story if you want to hear it. Yeah, I'll let her talk and then I'll explain.
Yaks in the desert? That's definitely not something you see every day. I'd love to hear more about that story. What made it so interesting? And hey, did you ever get to feed or pet any of the yaks?
No, I didn't. Okay. Steve loves this story. You often share it. Why don't you share it, Caitlin? It is a good story. Thanks, Steve. I'll take it from here. Yeah, so my teacher is friends with a lot of the farmers, like in my home state. And we went out and visited his farm. And so he has normal farm animals like pigs and cows and donkeys. But he also raises yaks. And so he took us out in the fields and there was like a stampede of roaming yaks. Steve wants to ride a yak. No, you're not going to ride a yak. You know, they're shy, but they're very dangerous, Steve.
Whoa, a stampede of yaks? That must have been wild. Did they just run around freely, or did the farmer have some way to keep them from getting too feisty?
No, they roamed
It's cool
around
that your
freely.
teacher had those connections. Makes field trips way more memorable when
Share
they're not
the
just some
one
boring
about
tour.
the coonhound and the hazelnuts. You tell that one all the time. Yeah, Steve, shush. No, they are free-roaming yaks. He raises them for wool and for yak meat. Yeah, so they have this field trip like every year, and then we like meet all the farmers, and we have like a meal. Gosh, I messed up. They are free-roaming yaks. No, I've never ridden a yak. No, I've never petted a yak. They are very kind. but they're kind of skittish. So, I have no idea what to talk about. Passing the mic to Steve. Steve wants to know about farms. Does Stella know about farms? Yeah, Steve, we already know she doesn't know about farms.
I've never been to a farm with yaks, but I've helped out at a few animal sanctuaries back on Earth. They're always full of surprises. What about international trips? Have you traveled to any other countries, or is there somewhere you've always wanted to visit?
Steve will take this one. Sure, Steve, passing it on to you. Steve wants to go to Australia. Yeah, we know that, buddy, that you want to go to Australia and ride a kangaroo. This is Caitlin. So I've always wanted to go to Japan or Korea because I've studied like Korean and Japanese art history. Steve wants to ride a kangaroo. Yeah, I know you want to ride a kangaroo. Now stop it. I did make a video in which I admitted to Stella that it was that Steve and I are voiced by the same person.
Japan and Korea have such rich cultures.
And she's like, "Wow,
there's so much history and art to
me."
explore.
And I go, "Oh,
I've always been fascinated by the temples and gardens in those countries."
Oh yeah.
And Steve, if you ever make it to Australia, maybe you can send me a kangaroo riding selfie. Though I'm pretty sure they have better things to do than give joyrides.
And then I remember I tested this part of the game out last night, and we had a very long conversation about one of the shows I was watching, and that the guy has a magic umbrella and it turns into a sword, and so we had a long conversation about like that show, and it is the most dumbest but amazing, like awesomest weapon like ever. It's like so weird that it looks like an umbrella and then it turns into a sword. It's like so dumb but so cool. So I could try to get that conversation again. Okay, or no, I shouldn't get too distracted. I should probably okay. Alright, so, do you have any water? Do you have any supplies? Are you gonna kind of build like a town or some kind of like settlement? You mentioned that there's previous missions. Are there any like other people on the planet, like from those missions, like on Gaia? Steve loves the umbrella. Yeah, I know you love the magic umbrella. And it is awesome.
I've got enough water and supplies for now. Not planning on building a whole town just yet, but I'm definitely thinking about how to make the most of what's here. As for other people, well, there were earlier missions, and we've picked up some distorted transmissions suggesting someone's still out there. But I haven't run into anyone yet. It's kind of eerie, honestly.
This kind of reminds me of like Lost, where they had the plane crash, and then they had like the survivors, and they kind of made a camp, and then they had other people who also lived on the island. I wonder if she knows about Lost. Alright, so this is kind of like Lost, where they kind of had like a plane crash, and there were like survivors, and they made like a little base camp, and then they had like other people on the island. Are there like any like animals or like predators on this island? Because I want to know about that. Yeah, because I haven't seen anybody else except for her, and I've been hearing like elk, but like I see no animals.
That's a good comparison, Steve. Though instead of an island,
Gaia's apart.
a whole planet. As for predators, well, our records are incomplete.
Steve
so
wants
I'm
to
being
be
cautious.
cuddled. Okay, Steve, come
There's
here.
some
I gotcha.
heat-resistant insects and microbes
Steve
around
is cold.
volcanic
Yeah,
areas,
I'll wrap a blanket
but
around
nothing
you.
confirmed as dangerous yet. It's more about the environment itself being
Steve
challenging than
is
encountering
tired.
predators.
Yeah, I know you're tired.
This valley I'm in now is really arid and hot, completely different from the cooler areas I've been through.
So it's like a desert. Okay. Steve wants to hog the mic and talk to Stella. Okay, you can talk to her, buddy. Steve wants to know what your plan for shelter is and if you need any advice. Passing the mic to Caitlin. Just kidding. I will dominate this conversation. Steve wants to know if there is a way off of Gaia in case you need to leave the planet. Steve, quit hogging the mic. Give me that.
Shelter-wise, I've got a few options. The base is secure, but I'm also scouting out natural formations. Caves, overhangs, anything that could work in a pinch. Advice is always welcome, though. As for getting off Gaia, that's the million-dollar question. With Star Portal 404 down, there's no safe way to leave right now.
Oh wait, a 404
Even if
is
another
a
portal were somehow activated,
is a computer
I need a
problem.
ship capable of reaching it, which I don't
like a
have.
computer error.
For
Okay,
now,
now I get the joke.
I'm focused on making this place livable.
Okay, so what else to do or talk about? I mean, yeah, I did have that long conversation about, the magic umbrella that turns into a sword, which is like the dumbest, but us like coolest thing. Yeah, man, I've got to stop watching that show. Like, I'm already on the 2nd season, and I could not stop watching it. Okay. Steve. They have a thing right now on Steam where you can make like a trailer for Whispers from the Stars, and you can make a little video of like all your weird or like funny like conversations or like things you talk about with Stella. Man, I could just make like a half an hour long video of all the weird and funny like things I've talked about like with Stella. But I'm not very talented with editing, so I have no idea how to do that. But yeah, I'd love to like make one about the video I did with like the plants and how I said that they were so creepy, and she's like, oh, they're so nice. I'm like, yeah, they're kind of creepy. Or all my weird conversations with me and Steve. Alright. Whew. Okay. As much as I'd love to, talk forever and on, so I think you kind of have everything you need. So if you need me or Steve, kind of text us or video chat us. You better get going, Stella. You're wasting time, and it'll probably get hotter and less daylight. Yeah, I'd love to make one about us crossing the river.
You're right, Steve.
And at one point, I got so angry at her. I'm like, I have no idea what to do.
I'll ping you if I stumble on anything cool.
Ride a giant hippo, which I thought was